Hello everyone and welcome back to Borderlands 2 Q&A Saturday. I know it's a little bit late. I've been messing with a bunch of stuff, but hey, let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, for those who are not aware, this is Q&A Saturday. If you have any questions that you would like answered, do me a favor, leave them down in the description below. And if you enjoy the series and you want to see it continue, drop me a like. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the questions. First one is Calm Dwelling, who asked, how many times have you completed Borderlands 2? I have completed Borderlands 2 probably somewhere, if I had to take an educated guess, I would say somewhere around 235 times. I do a lot of speedruns. Granted, a lot of them don't actually beat the game, but I've done a lot of speedruns. I've done a lot of characters. If we're talking, just general beat the warrior, get your loot type thing, probably somewhere between 200 and 300 actual full completions of the game. I've been playing it for about 5,000 hours on the PC version alone, and that doesn't even take into account the 4 months that I was on Xbox 360 when the game first launched. So I've been playing it for a while. Do I think Claptrap deserves all the hate that he gets? Yes, I despise the character, which is why I haven't made a guide for him in TPS, and probably why it will never get made in TPS. And finally, what is can be if it can be? Yes. And for our next one from Caleb Reed, hey Baru, if you had to build a Borderlands 3 character from the ground up, backstory, skill tree, and all of that, what would he, she, it be like? Now, as far as actual play style of a character, I like characters that can use their health as a resource to deal damage. So if I was to build a character for Borderlands, it would be something that can sacrifice their own health to somehow damage enemies, debuff enemies, make them take more damage or something like that, while at the same time, if you can get a kill on them, then you can get your health back. So sort of like this, life leech, and using your life to both damage things, and get your health back by killing them. That's usually the kind of style that I like because it promotes a very fast-paced play style. I don't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of any examples of that kind of a build. But as far as backstory, I'm not a story kind of person. For me, I play video games because I simply enjoy them. Very few games will I play just because of story. Tales from the Borderlands is one of them because I really enjoy it, but I didn't pick up Borderlands 2 for its story, and I don't continue to it because of its story. So yeah, I'm not much of a backstory kind of person, but a skill tree, you all let me know. Would you like me to actually just build up a mock Borderlands 3 character? Just to throw some ideas out there, throw them around. I know a lot of people have a whole bunch of ideas of what they would like to see in the next game, but we could be here for hours if we were just about to talk about anything that, whatever we would like to see in Borderlands 3, but yeah, that's the kind of character I like. A life leech character that uses its health as a resource to damage enemies, like, creating a bomb or just like throwing bombs at things that cost your own health and stuff like that. So that's the kind of build, that's the kind of character that I like to play. Something very fast-paced, something health-based. Next one from The Monster 5103. What other YouTubers do you watch and or take inspiration from? I take inspiration not just from YouTubers, I take it from just anything that I notice in general. That's why I like how creative we can be. Someone makes something, and then another person is going to take that idea and change it in a way, so that way they throw their own twist on it. And then, another person will take that twist and put their own twist on it. And by the time you get to the fifth person, it's a completely new idea in general. So as far as where I get my inspiration from, I kind of just go everywhere, man. I'll sit outside and then it'll just hit me. It's like, oh man, I should do this. I'm gonna do that, and that's just kind of how I am. I don't really plan things out. It just kind of hits me sometimes, the things that I should do. As far as YouTubers that I watch, I don't really spend a lot of time on YouTube watching videos. I really don't. There's like, I barely watch YouTube for specific people. The only real person that, if I had to pick somebody, the only person, and I've probably watched all of his videos, is JonTron. I love his content, you know. And probably the Sequelitis series from Egoraptor. I say series with quotation marks because it's very short. But yeah, those are the kinds of things that I like to enjoy, to watch. I think Vate Vidya is probably the other one. I don't understand any Dark Souls lore, but I just love watching the videos. So don't really spend too much time on YouTube, just kind of watching things. But that's kind of what that's kind of what I watch there and all that, and where I get my inspiration from. So I hope that answers your question. So this next one is from Matt Saunders, and it may open up a can of worms, but I'm really just hoping that it's going to instead put the beast to rest. And that one is, do you still keep in touch with Mac? And there's also been a ton of other questions regarding Githalion, a former person that I used to work with. So we're going to kind of address that thing, and then we're going to just leave it, and hopefully people can understand where I'm coming from this. Myself and Githalion really don't see eye to eye anymore. We got into a couple of arguments. Some things happened on both sides. We don't really like each other. We don't really work with each other anymore. We don't even talk to each other. It's just kind of how it is, and that's how it's going to stay. As far as Mac, we never really got along to begin with, so that kind of happened. We just don't mesh well. And we don't... It's not good to force a relationship that doesn't work anymore, is probably the best way to put it. Maybe somewhere down the line, even though that's never going to happen, you know, sure, but honestly, it's probably for the better that we don't work together anymore. It's healthy to both ends. I would say, you know, if you like their content, like their content. If you like mine, but it's never gonna, you're never gonna see co-op ever again, really. So I hope people can move on from that. I know I get that question a hell of a lot, but it's healthy for both parties if we just move on from it. I know we really didn't have a sort of announcement, but it's not really necessary to have an announcement, but a lot of people ask, so I thought I would answer that. It's a severe disagreements, a couple of arguments, difference of opinion, a lot of things happening on both sides that doesn't really need to be public. It's happened long ago. We just don't work together anymore. We will not work together anymore. That's just kind of how it is. Now we have people that we work with now that we mesh with better, which is going to provide better content for everybody else. For example, I work really well with LG. Goth works really well with Broman. So we find new people that we work well with together, and it's going to create a more healthy relationship between people. It's going to be better content for the viewers, and overall, it's just, you know, people move on, people change. So there is your answer, because I saw that question probably about 50 times. So there you go. There's your answer. I hope you all will understand that, and we never ask that ever again. Okay, cool. And now this next one from Wade1423, who says, did you expect to end up playing Borderlands as much as you have? And to answer that, honestly, no. Before playing Borderlands, most of my time was devoted to World of Warcraft. And if you think I've spent a lot of hours in Borderlands, you don't want to know how much time I've spent in World of Warcraft. It's a lot. It's 5 digits. It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of hours. But anyway, I mostly played a lot of World of Warcraft, and I made the decision that, well, I'm getting slightly addicted to the game, so I removed my PC, and I got an Xbox 360 and played console games for the longest time. And I would go console game to console game to console game, not staying anywhere for probably more than like 4 or 5 days tops. And then Borderlands 2 Mass Effect 3 lands, I play its multiplayer for like a month, and that to me is the longest I've ever played a game for a very long time, because I was game to game most of the time. And then Borderlands 2 hits, and I don't know why, I start loving the game, and then I threw up the Terramorphous video, and for whatever reason, that got like thousands of views on it, and I was just like, oh, people like this game. Okay. I guess I'll keep making more. And then I made guides on it, and people just said, make more guides. I'm like, okay, I'll keep playing it. And then I started speedrunning it, and then I started, becoming an entertainer, and I started doing all of these other things with it, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. Now, keep in mind, at this point, I'm starting to tone back a bit, as you may notice. I'm trying to get to maybe 1 to 2 Borderlands videos a week. And then we'll slowly taper off from there, because I have a lot of hours in it now. Until something new comes out, I'm kind of burnt out on it. So, that's just kind of how it is. That I did not expect for me to actually launch a career because of Borderlands, and I have a lot to thank because of that. Mostly, you guys and gals, for watching and liking and subbing to my YouTube, and some of those Twitch as well, and just follow me and just having a good old grand time. So let me take a minute to just thank you, for watching. You're all pretty cool. And yeah, that's just kind of how it happened. Now, but we're at the, we're around the end of this video here, so I want to thank you all for watching. I will do, next one, we'll go through some more rapid fire questions, and yeah, so if you have a question that you did not see answered here, be sure to leave it in the the comment section. Please do not try and edit the description. It will be very difficult for you. If you manage to do that, I will give you a cookie. But no, if you have a question that you would like answered, do me a favor, leave it in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the series, hit the like button for me. And I'll see you all in the next one. Okay, bye!